Assalamu alaikum and welcome to yet another episode of The Why Teacher. Today's episode is a little sensitive. It is sensitive because it has to do with grades. And this is right about the time when your children might be giving their exams or might be expecting their results. It is an anxious moment for both parents and teachers. It is anxious for parents because they feel that this is what is finally going to, decide the direction and the future of their children. And it is quite an anxious moment for teachers who feel that, this is going to be a reflection of their abilities, their efforts, and their performance through the school year. Keeping it real is really important, and so if your children have received the results and were unable to score an A or a B and ended up with a C or a D, I'm sure you are very disappointed. Your extreme disappointment is going to transfer to your children, who are going to be utterly destroyed because they were not able to meet your expectations and they were not able to make you happy. The teachers in return are going to dread this moment because now they are going to be held accountable. They were paid to do a job, they were paid to get this success for the school, and they were not able to do so. So the next horror to follow is a comparison. You're going to compare your child to a sibling or a friend, a cousin or a classmate in school, and you're going to push your child to think as to what qualities and capabilities did they have or they possessed that helped them achieve those grades and he or she could not. Pushing your child to believe that one grade truly defines his abilities is a dangerous concept that has been ongoing for so many years. And I think it's about time that we start having a conversation and a dialogue with our children and educators across the globe to define and redefine what true success in life is and what is the real purpose of education. So one of the dangers of teaching towards assessment and grading is that it takes away the imagination and creativity of both children and teachers. And in the absence of this creativity and in the directives of school to teach a certain way, to reach a certain goal, leaves absolutely no space in between for children to experiment. And without this exploration, our children become dull and their metacognitive ability, which is actually the brain's ability to make multiple connections, goes lacking. And we get into this process from grade 1. We start testing our children from grade 1 and we start giving them grades. So we begin to label their abilities at a time when they're actually starting off in school and haven't even reached the potential of understanding what they're capable of. So another danger of ranks and grades is that they train the brain to think quantitatively. And so children begin to measure everything in numbers. And if something cannot be measured, they believe it to be not valuable in life. So abstract concepts like happiness, like well-being, like, emotions, or the simple fact that, the need to connect with people becomes a difficult concept for them to understand. They become judgmental. They become highly judgmental because they feel that if certain person is not falling on a certain scale or a certain level on the scale, then this person is not really worth, being around or to connect with. So, to begin something like this at such a young age, to begin to train the brain in this manner where it struggles with the basic necessity of connecting with people it's truly sad. And I think that is one of the greatest evils of, teaching children how important grades are and how important ranks are. I think that it's become quite fashionable for educators to state that, we are educating the whole child. But when it comes to policy making and when it comes to subject allocation, we all tend to gravitate towards, sciences and languages, preaching to our parents that these are the subjects that are going to define the future of their children and these are the subjects that are going to promise success. Completely ignoring the fact that we might have a lot of children who might be artistically inclined and would do well in art, music, drama, or physical education. So taking away this basic right of the child to develop a successful future by giving, equal importance to these subjects in the school and an equal importance or allocation of, space to these subjects and time to these subjects is something that holistic education is all about. And when you preach that you are schools that are offering, opportunities for children to develop as whole, then, you need to change your policies, and you need to, educate the parents about this so that they understand that if their child is, has a talent for art and painting, and if your child is interested in composing music, then this is what is going to help him find his, calling in life. Understanding that, respect is the basic right of every child, I'd like to, relate an incident here that is going to open up your eyes to the horrors of grading. So this happened when I was an elementary teacher, and this is the story of a young boy who was the captain of our football team. So as the captain of the football team, he brought many certificates, many trophies and awards for the school because of his talent and his skill. However, he wasn't doing very well on his report card and had, grades that were failing. But he was a hero for the children in the school because they admired him for his talent and for the success that he had brought to the school. So as a teacher, I was struggling in my classroom with my children when it came to group work. So I thought, if I call this young boy in to give my children a talk about teamwork, because football is all about teamwork, it might inspire them to do well. So I approached his teacher and asked, her to spare him for a few minutes to speak to my children. And her response was shocking for me, because she could not believe that I would want to put a failure as a role model in front of her children, in front of my children. And, her response opened up my eyes to the fact that we so easily take away, the rights of the children. We deprive them of the respect that they deserve, because football was his place of belonging. That was where he got his respect. And I believe that children deserve the respect, wherever they get it, whichever field they get it in, that is their basic right. So thinking that grades are going to define whether you're going to get respect or not is a shameful thought. And so, to sum it up, defining possibilities in life through just grades and ranks is a ridiculous thought, and we all need to get rid of it. Big companies like Google and Ernst & Young have endorsed the true ideals of education by propagating the fact that your grades do not define success in life. So we all need to wake up. We as educators, as parents, as adults, need to start respecting our children for their talents and their skills. And it is our responsibility to provide them with the faith and the trust in their abilities and the tools and resources that are going to help them succeed in life. So no grade, no rank should ever interfere with your relationship with your child. And so if your child has brought a report card to you that does not fall into your expectations, you just simply need to have a dialogue with your child, and you need to find out their talents and their skills and help them succeed in life. I hope that we are able to break this myth about grades defining our abilities, because I truly believe that children define their own abilities when given the space, time, and compassion. Thank you.